Hello, Professor Anna, Professor and colleagues. How are you? This is Oscar Gonzalez from Cali, Colombia, and this is my meaningful way to express my story in the program, in the master's program, and the strategies I have used to help me out be autonomous. Um, I want to tell you a little bit about me. Um, and I want to start with a quote from Arnold Schwarzenegger that says, "No one can do it alone. We are always, and I think we're always thinking that we can be self-made." And I think I've mentioned that before, that I'm a self-made man, but I'm not. And I agree with Arnold Schwarzenegger in the fact that we all need support from others. In our own journey, we can't we can't say that we did it all by ourselves. We always need the help of others, and we always need to help others as well. And this is what collaboration is about. So in an autonomous learning, we just decide what to do and what path to take, but we always need the help of others. Without them, we're nothing. So let's begin. Let me tell you a little bit of my story. Let's go back a little bit on time. In time, I have been teacher for 22, 23 years now, and I have always studied. I have always studied um, languages and teaching strategies, and I've taken certificates and diplomas and all that, and international tests, and always keen on learning new things. But I always knew that I needed to take a master's diploma, and it's super important for me, and I think for many professionals. And then I don't know, maybe one day I'll go for the PhD, but for now, I need to try to focus on what's real and right now, separate what's fact and what is fiction. So I have always used the strategies to help myself get on track. I tend to procrastinate, or I used to tend to procrastinate, and it was really difficult for me when I was like that, because I always try to manage things in my mind, or sometimes writing things in agenda, but I will forget. So I'm a kind of man that if I don't write things down, I don't do them. Or if I remember to do things in the moment and I don't do them in the moment, I forget. So if I don't do them at the moment, it's not going to happen. So what helps me a lot, one of the strategies, is to keep a journal and to keep a log or an agenda or something. And in the past, I used to tie a little lace, a little thread on my finger, but I don't do it anymore, because then I forget why I put the little thread on my finger. So what I'm trying to do is that I put something like big in my house or at work that tells me what I need to do, and that reminds me constantly what's up for today or for this week. Second thing is that I use calendars and reminders in my cell phone, because this is one of the gadgets I always use and I'm always looking at or paying attention to. And so these things helps me get things done. Another thing is that in the process of learning in the a master's program, I always had a situation. At the beginning, I had a situation. I always not always. I had a situation, or some situations at the beginning, that really got me frustrated because I didn't know what to do. I did not know the platform. I didn't know how to navigate it. I was doing it on my own, but I was pressured by the time to do things. So I was not familiar, it was not friendly at the beginning. So my friend and I were very disappointed by the fact that we had no, or we felt that we had no support. And let me tell you, he was a scholar. He was well, he's a scholar, but he had a scholarship, 50%, and he dropped it. He dropped it because he felt this was not for him. So, an autonomous learning is difficult and it's not made for everybody. You need to have a lot of willpower. You need to have mm, a lot of motivation and endure, have stamina to go through these plateaus and breaking these barriers that come up when you hit these tremendous difficulties. But most importantly, friends, that's one of the things I'd like to tell you. It's a good strategy to find good friends to work with. And I have found one of the most amazing two people here in the program that I trust them and I feel they trust me, and that's super important to me because I admire them and I feel that in some way they also admire some of my work and some of my competency of my proficiency in my work and what I do. So if I can rely on somebody else's work and somebody else can rely their work on me or their trust on me, that is a tremendous thing. So we help each other. One thing that was super difficult for me at the beginning was Mendeley, the use of Mendeley. It still is. But one of them still teaching me how to do things. And I consider this person an expert on Mendeley. And we sort of have same amount of articles and books and book sections in number that are pretty much the same, nearly 700 or so. So in this way, I think it's, if you are not alone in the program, you have friends, colleagues that help you, and you have the support of the teachers, of professors. That's going to be fine. If you have very good professors that help you polish yourself, help you improve your ways, then you feel like you are learning something, not just alone. Modeling, helping you, good feedback. Good feedback from professors gets you to the next level. If you don't have good feedback from a professor, then you're lost. Then you just imagine what could be the next step to do. But if you have a good feedback from a professor that is not vague, that is not delusional, but is precise and right on point. I need to say this name. Dr. Carl Anderson has made a great impact in my life. He's one of the people I admire the most, and I have received tons of feedback from him. And I think understanding his point of view is hard. It's difficult because he's very straightforward, and he keeps for him nothing, and he demands a high level of quality of work. Not saying that all the professors don't do it, but I feel like I have a tendency to be more prone to his work, to his feedback, and as anybody else can have for other professors. But I feel like if you have someone to look up to, then your own autonomous, that's a redundancy, but your autonomous work, your autonomous process or progression can be even better. Setting up goals, setting up dates, being aware of things, asking friends to please help you remember important things if you don't have them in mind. Just being aware of things is super important, because you in the program are very susceptible of missing dates. And I did that the first time. The first time I had an assignment on the platform. Let's say I was the second one. I did not know, and then professors wrote an email to me, Dr. Carl, and said, "Hey, Oscar, I don't know, but I don't know what's going on in your life, but it's 2 days delayed, minus 0.2 points out of your work if you're not giving them, and then every day it's minus 0.1." And then what? Oh my god, that was super difficult. So I had to cram and do things as fast as I could. Of course, that was at 2.1. That was difficult. That was the only bad grade I had, and I regret. Not really. That 2.1 struck me hard, and ever since, never had one like that. So I think in strategies we could all have different things and find different ways, but for the program, being an autonomous person is choosing what you want to do, to comply with things, to be able to do things at the highest level, at the highest possible level. And that means to comply with everything proficiently. And you cannot do this alone. It's nearly impossible. We all have jobs, we all have personal lives, we all have families. Some of us have children. Like me, I have a job, wife, a son, my father that works, that lives with me, and I have 2 jobs. So it's it's difficult to do all these things and study and being able to cope with everything. So you do need the help of others. It's autonomous, but autonomous is just taking the decisions. But it's also collaborative. You need the help of other people if you want to be successful in the master's program. So just about it. That's just my story. I hope you guys find some of the important things to reflect on my story, and I hope this helps some of you. All right, until the next time. See ya.